Look at this sunrise. Isn't it beautiful? So, whilst we were offline, I took the liberty of adding a few bits which I'm going to show you now. But look at this first. 32 grand. We're making a profit and we're making a lot of money. I let the game run in the background just so that we can increase our income. And man oh man, finally we can actually start adding stuff without having to worry about funds for now. So I took the liberty of adding a few theming around the park. We've added some flowers, this lion statue, and loony balloons. I think the shops have been really good in terms of making us money, because you can see that the number of guests have increased and increasing, and quite a few people are spending their money, which is always good to see. So, as well as this area here, I wanted to show you this little square that I've done, because we talked about maybe building a clock tower as a main focal point. So this square will help. We can add a clock tower here and maybe a few benches for people to sit around, some more restaurants and shops around here. So we can turn this into a food court, really. We also did some work around the flamingo habitat. And look at this. I've added a few waterfall features around the bridge, and isn't that beautiful? Just so peaceful. I could literally stare at this all day. And I think our flamingos are happy, so let's check them out. Look at this one hiding in the bushes. Okay, so we do want to... Cleanliness, that's something we need to focus on. So maybe we can hire more staff now that we've got enough money. And we also want to look at the nutrition. So I think this will be through research. If we can do some more research, we can improve the quality of the food. I'm not sure if I already have this option, because I would have researched some previously. So at the moment I'm not sure how I go about doing that, but we'll figure it out in a minute. So you've got the flamingos here where I've made some improvements. The waterfall feature just looks amazing, doesn't it? I'm quite pleased with that. And then we've also added a few features in the tapir habitat. So this guy is not lonely anymore. We've managed to get him a friend. I think, where is she? Oh, she's sleeping. So we have 2 tapirs now, and I think that's the maximum you can get anyway for this species. And I think they're happy. Yeah, nutrition's another one again. So we'll focus on that through research. But we've made a little bit tweaks to the habitat. We've added a few rocks around here, I think because they were escaping in the last episode. So we wanted to make sure that we have this covered. And hopefully we shouldn't have any more escapees. Look at that. These guys are loving it. It's a nice little view you have from here as well. And then the hill just adds to it. So if you're far away, you can still see the tapirs from this angle. I love it. Right, so let's do something around here. So we want to, I was thinking of adding a clock tower, which would be a nice little addition to the zoo. I just want to see what we have to play with. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, so it's not, maybe it's in the, okay, definitely not in the fountains. Props? There's so much in there, you lose track. Okay. If I do architecture, will it be under that? I think we'll have to build one from scratch anyway, because I don't think we do have... Okay, so here we go. We've got some clock faces here and some columns here, so I'm going to try and do something with this. So if I just... I'm going to pause for a minute and figure out what I'm trying to do here. So the idea is to use these as the foundation. So this is definitely a clock. This is the facade, I think, where the clock goes. And then you've got the bases here. Now the question is, do I use a plinth as my foundation? Because you've got these as well. What does that look like? Okay, so this is a concrete pillar. And then so these will all be the base, I reckon. This looks good. I wonder... Okay, I'm just going to place it here for now. I know it's probably not centered, but we'll sort that out afterwards once we've built the actual clock tower. But I want to just play around with this for a minute and see if this is what we're looking for. So if I use that as a base, then where did it go? Okay, so I had to click on that again. Right, so if I use... So facade will definitely need... No, I think it'll be not wide enough, so I'm just going to place those there for now anyway. I'm just going to use the filters. It's annoying when you lose what you're trying to do, when you lose the pieces. It should be in here. It should be under classics. There we go. So I think we need one of these as well. Classic clock tower. Yeah, I don't think the base is wide enough. So do we use two of these? We'll place one here anyway. I think we might need two of them. We'll see how it looks once I've built it, because I do want this to be quite high. I want the clock tower to be seen from every angle of the park, as it's the main focal point essentially, and that's where we will have our large seating area with picnic tables and benches, food courts, and a place for people to hang out. Okay, so if I add to this, maybe one more. Again, I'm not entirely sure how centered it is, but I'm pretty much eyeballing it for now, and then I can sort it out afterwards. I mean, at the moment, okay, that one was slightly wonky, but should be able to fix that fairly easily. Push that a little bit that way. Is this centered? I think so. There we go. Right, okay, so I don't want to spend too much time messing around with that. We'll fix that if it doesn't look right. But so I think we have the basis. Can I add one more? Is there a different piece maybe? No, I think this is it. So with the base, it's too narrow or it's too small, so it would look a bit odd if the clock tower was built on that. Let's try this one. Okay, I think this is pretty much the same size, so it doesn't really make a difference. Let's delete that. Trays. Oh, okay. No, again, this is too small for what I'm looking for. I think I might leave the base if we don't find any suitable option. I might just build on what we have. So let's add, I think, one more on top of here, and this should be enough. Can we center this just a tiny bit to the right? Perfect. And from this angle, looks right, I think. And then let's move this up here. So this is the actual facade. I'm going to try and eyeball it again and then tweak it slightly. So you can see it's hard when you're just eyeballing it like that. Does it look centered from the top? Maybe. And this side. I think that looks good. Yep, I think this looks good. Check this out. It's high enough, isn't it? And then I think I want to just top it off by adding maybe like a little roof, a pointy hat for the clock tower. So which one should we go for? There's this one. Or this one. Which one? Maybe this one? It's still in line with all the other roof styles that we have going for the shops. So let's try this. Let's try and center this. Shouldn't need to do too much with this. I think we've done well here. Maybe slightly to the right. Oh. Bring it forward. I think it can do with going, it's just sitting there like this. And I want to check this side out as well to make sure that it's perfect. It's hard to get it absolutely perfect. Right, how are we looking? Yeah. This is good. And then we want the faces. Clock faces. So do we go for white or do we go for black? White looks classic, traditional, and it sort of matches the face there. And then we've got black here. I do want the bigger dial, so black. I think we'll go for white. I think it looks nicer. Right, so I'm gonna, this will be slightly tricky, so I'm going to do this now. Would you look at that? Isn't that amazing? It took me a while to be absolutely perfect. But yeah, these facades, the clocks were quite tricky to center and place, and I had to do it all the way around. But I think it was worth it. Looks absolutely amazing. And it fits with our theme, what we're going for. The only issue is people seem to be walking through it. Look at these guys. They're literally walking through the clock tower. So I might fix that. I might add barriers or hedges around to block people from walking straight through it. But for now, I'm quite happy with that. So let's see what we can do to stop people from walking through it. Can I put barriers down? I do quite like these planter window box. You can literally create anything out of them. I I think I might try this, see if it works. Let's rotate it. And then this way. Is this straight enough? Yep, perfect. Now I can bring it down a little bit. Maybe bring this up slightly. Oh, that's going the wrong way. See, I don't think it's even. Oh, there we go. Right. This should work. Let's see. I'm sure I'll think of something else and then I'll probably start tweaking it, but for the moment I'm quite pleased with the way the clock tower's turned out and this area's looking at this minute. I do want to add a few benches around because we don't have those. There's nowhere for our guests to sit down. So, where can we place some benches? I do like the idea of sort of having them around here, but then it clogs up the path and we do want to keep that area cleared. I want to use this space, or this space here, to add more shops and food courts, etc. So I want to make sure that the benches are slightly out of the way and they're not taking too much space. What about this area here? Is that too close to the park entrance? Unless I do it here somewhere. Let's see if I can extend this area somehow. Okay. Looks slightly odd. Malformed. What is that? Oh, I thought it was a rat for a second. I'm sure we didn't keep any rats. Okay, these are balloons, I reckon. All I can see is a shadow. That's bizarre. Can't see anything. They must be quite high up. Look at all these balloon shadows. That's creepy. Right, so for a second I thought there were rats running around the zoo, and we definitely did not buy any rats for our exhibits. Maybe rat food when we do a reptile house, who knows. Oh, this has turned into that sort of a shape. Wait, can we do that? Can I? Ooh. It doesn't automatically turn into that shape. It's sort of like a fluke, to be fair. Ah, okay. So if I do it from this angle, yeah, and then delete that. Yeah, slightly wonky. I don't want that. There we go. I want a food court. Do I fill up the space here, maybe? Let's see. And then if I increase the angle snap, maybe decrease the length. It's this bit here that's really annoying. I wish there was a way to... I'm sure there is. I'm by no means an expert in this game. Oh, it started snowing. Did I put heaters down? Let me just double check. Curveball. Curveball throwing. Spanner in the works, guys. Spanner in the works. But hey, this is... it comes with the territory, right? Part and parcel of running your own zoo. Okay, I didn't put a heater down, but what we'll do is we'll add one here in the flamingo habitat, and I'm sure tapirs will need one too, because they are... Look at these flamingos running from the cold. Okay, so we'll wait for that to heat up, and then we'll add one into the tapir habitat as well, because we don't want them freezing to death, do we now? Put one here, next to the shelter. I think that should be enough for now. It's snowing. Isn't that gorgeous? So, food court, benches. At the minute, what I'll do is I'll just put picnic benches down, and then we can turn it into a sort of a covered area, or maybe leave as is. The main thing for now is just figuring out what kind of path can I add. Like a nice... It is a bit of a fluke. When you get going, you just figure out what shape you want, and then see, can I get... You see? You see? How about now? Increase the width a little bit more. Angle snap? Nope. We bring it a little bit closer, like so. No, it doesn't work, does it? The snow is really going to annoy me. See what I mean? These... paths are not the best. I can hide them, these little gaps here. I can add trees and stuff, but then again, do I want the food court in this section? Let's have a go anyway. I don't want to spend hours doing that. Let's have a look at what we have by way of benches, and then we could perhaps, once we've laid down our benches, it will probably start to make sense. So we've got European classic picnic bench, nice. I do want a canopy on top as well, so I think I might go for... Ooh, these are cool. Nice. Modern. Sort of like a contrast between classic and modern. I do really like these. They are jazzy. Okay, let's place a couple of these here. So we'll keep the main pathway empty, and then we'll just have these around here. It's a shame, really. I wish we could add benches on the grass here, so people could actually use the green spaces for picnic areas. So a couple of these like so. Okay. And maybe a few others. So let's place a bin down. Gonna put it in the middle. Let's put it there. And one here on this side. Perfect. And can we put canopies? I think this should work. Is there a one that can be placed in the middle? Okay, so you've got these ones, the New World picnic canopies, but I do want to stick to the wooden theme. I don't think we have one that can go in the center, so we might need to... Okay, let's add a couple of these as well. Ooh, is this too much of a... Can I change the color? Brown? I want it to match the other benches. Slightly lighter? Nope. Orange? No, so it doesn't actually work. It's the outline that changes color. But this is not too bad. Slightly darker than the rest, but it's not too bad. Let's have a couple of these like so. I might do this one at an angle as well. Just looks cooler that way. Now my OCD kicks in, where I want it to align perfectly. And the problem is when you're eyeballing most of the time, or using a mouse and a keyboard, it's not exactly, you can't exactly get it perfect. One can aim. You've got to try. That's all that counts in the end. One here. Is that too many benches? No, we can do a couple more here, but for now, let's just add a few canopies. These benches are cool as well. I do like these. So if I did... Okay, so I might leave those ones as they are and add canopies on these ones, so then they have... Guests have options. You know, you can... If you're prone to getting sunburnt, then you can choose one of these benches. Everyone has a choice then. Here. Here. And one more. Okay, is this one slightly wonky? Oh dear. Get this. Oh no. Do we have an escapee again? We have an escapee again. Let's have a look what's going on over there. Yeah, perfect. let's move this slightly. I'll check out that escapee in a minute. I'm sure it's not going anywhere. Right, and then move this along as well. It's all in the details, guys. It's all in the details. By no means I'm perfect, but I do try. It's all in the details. Right, okay, cool. Where is this escapee? Of course it's bloody flamingo. You're just stuck there, you're not going anywhere. I know what's happened. It's an old barrier comes around here. So then the game thinks that the flamingo is trying to escape when in actual fact it's not. So let's just put a rock on top of it. Try escape now, little birdie. Call wet and it will sort itself out, I'm sure. I do want to fix this water because it's absolutely dirty. But look, before we get a water treatment down, you know, do you want to see a cool trick? Cheap and cheerful. Just remove the water. And then add it again. And it's sparkling clean again. Isn't that neat? Do the same here. And then add it again. Nice and clean. Perfect again. Just a little trick if you don't have the funds to add a water treatment just yet. So we have our benches. And then we can spruce up this area here a little bit more. But I wanted to get something down at least so the guests have somewhere to sit and eat and hang out. I'm still not happy with this path, so I might adjust it offline because it does take a while messing around with it, and I'm sure you don't want to see me messing around with paths. That will take me another episode. So we'll leave that here for now, and then we could tweak it afterwards. So we're happy. We've made some progress with the clock tower. We're happy that we're making money, and we're receiving a steady stream of guests. So things are looking good. And our tapirs are happy as well, hanging out. Do we have guests on this side? Yep. So if you look at it from this angle, yeah, they can actually see them when they're on the hill. Amazing. In the next episode, we'll focus on another habitat, I think. And maybe, I do want to sort this area out because it's ugly. But I do want to make a custom building, like a giant one that incorporates all of these in there, instead of building individual ones. And hopefully keeping it in line with the rest of the theme here. But we'll fix that at some point. But for now, I'm going to leave you guys with a nice relaxing shots of the flamingos and maybe tapirs, because I love watching them. So enjoy, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you very much.
Come on, Zombie Cow.